Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl Rachel. I'm just coming to you today, continuing my vlog on living with bipolar disorder as a black female. You know what I found this week? I found this out this week, and I don't think that people understand it as I have really looked at it at a very closer look lately. And what I have discovered is that I hate this lighting. Yeah. What I have discovered is that people don't take this disease seriously. Not even myself. And I say that because as I look at things, like I see movies and stuff and all of that stuff and read articles and whatever about bipolar disorder one. And for me, because I've lived with it all of my life, I can't see where it's really that much affecting me that much, if you will. But after I started looking at certain things, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should think about this in a whole different manner. Because what movie was it? I cannot remember off the top of my head. Anyway, I was looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, I'm good as far as, having the all kind of symptoms and stuff. I do have symptoms, but they're not violent symptoms. Not yet, at least. Because what I realize is that I could be in a whole different world. Because a lot of people that have these mental illnesses, they or mental diseases, whatever you call it, they have tendencies to do drugs or drink and all kind of stuff, right? So those are the things that I've never had to contend with, but I did have to contend with an overly stimulating sex drive. So so for me, that's what took the place of drugs and alcohol and blah blah blah, all of that other stuff that people do to cope. My coping skill or coping mechanism, my mechanism was sex. And that led down a couple of other roads, but that was one of my coping mechanisms, and also shopping. And it's funny because even now, as I continue to learn, because I continue to read up on it, and I do that because if I don't know how I should be treated and how I should be looking at things in others, then how do I expect somebody else to know? So therefore, that to me was significant. Is significant enough for me to really just kind of dig into it, the diagnosis and the expectations that I have for myself, that I have for others, that I have of my psychologist, psychiatrist, and counselor. Shit. Fun. But so those are the things that I have to look at. And so as I was just listening to these videos and reading some articles and stuff like that, with people talking about the things that they've done because they have the disorder, or they just thought it was, this is ordinary. This is ordinary for me. I realized that this is not a joke. And I think because people say, because you hear it all the time, you're like, well, damn, why you bipolar? And unfortunately, I have to say, well, yeah, I am legally. I am bipolar. But it kind of puts a comical spin on it. And the reason why is because the word is used so prevalent. But the truth is, and on top of that, it's people that don't get diagnosed. See, with me being prior military, then there were certain things that they just did as far as, questioning and blah, 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 whatever. Then that person, they kind of diagnose you or whatever. Now, so what I see is that a lot of people are probably bipolar like me, and they just don't address it, or they don't see it. As far as myself, I started seeing it because I started seeing it I think in my 30s, maybe. Probably in my 30s. Even though I had already had it since, I was a teenager or whatever, which explains a lot of the stuff, crazy stuff that I did. Because on top of that, you have this grandiose feeling like you're just on top of the world, that you can pretty much do anything. And sometimes that would be my, nothing's going to happen to me. If I do this or I do that, it's not gonna make a difference, because hey, I can do what I want to do. And sometimes I still think that way. I try not to as much though. But anyway, so just understanding that part of it, that I'm going to react differently to things than maybe the person next to me, or maybe the person that's on the phone with me. Which reminds me, I went to breakfast the other day with one of my good friends, and I could consider her as a best friend if I had best friends like that. I've never had that per se, but we were talking, and I was trying to explain to her some of the things that I go through, and I had just had a run-in, but kind of a situation with a friend of mine, and that was bothering me. So I was just running some stuff across to her, and I mentioned some of the stuff that happened, and so I brought up an article, and I started reading to her some of the symptoms that this person has that are the symptoms that I display as well. Well, of course, she was like, okay, wow, now understanding a little bit more, about you. And she asked me this question, because there are certain things that I do that when I'm doing it, I know I'm doing it, but I can't stop doing it. So she asked me that question. Well, do you know these episodes are coming on? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So she said, well, if you know that is coming, those symptoms, or that you're going into a manic episode or a depressive episode, can't you stop it? Well, let's see. I had to think of the best way to describe how my mind works and operates. And the answer is no. The answer is no, and this is why. Bipolar, if you have bipolar disease, if you could really stop doing those things, you wouldn't have bipolar disease. That's the honest, truth. But when I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, how can I describe to a novice about what I go through as a person with bipolar disorder? Because I'm constantly checking, I'm constantly on the lookout. Like last night I said something to a friend on Facebook, and how she replied, I was like, oh, I think I offended her. And then so after that, I was just texting her, is everything okay? Are you sure? Are you mad at me? Blah, blah, blah. Nothing was wrong. She just was like, no, didn't say that. Yeah, we are still friends. Which is the same thing with my friend I was working with, eating with on Monday. I think it was Monday. And so what I came up with, and granted, we talked about this on, I want to say it was Monday. It was probably Monday. And so after she asked me that question, of course I obsessed over that question. After she asked me that question, I obsessed and obsessed and obsessed over that question until I figured it out. And so I said, well, what kind of thing can I say? What is so just addictive that I could explain? And this is what I came up with. Drugs, a crackhead. That is what I came up with. As a crackhead, they know they're doing wrong. They know they need to stop. They know it might kill them. They know it might do a whole lot of things to their life and more. It could mess up their lives. It could mess up their family, their homes, their children, and all of that. But they can't stop. They can't stop. The ones that go into the 3-day, 4-day, you can't find them because they're binging or whatever. That's kind of what it's like to be in the situations that I'm in sometimes, because I can almost feel it, and sometimes I just don't know I'm doing it. Like when I'm in a manic episode, sometimes I just don't know. But I will spend a lot of money, and it's not even things that I probably need. I got stuff in the closet and still got tags on it, and now I got to give them away because I don't like them, or I don't fit them as I used to. But so, those things sometimes are visible, but when someone that you're having a conversation with, or someone that you're having any type of personal relationship with, or even romantic relationship with, if they say something or do something that is a trigger for you, there's no way for me to stop it at that point. Sometimes I do have to try to take a step back, but I do that once everything I've had to say is out. And so by that time, I'm pissed off, they're pissed off, and only those people that really truly know me actually stay around, because I'm not a bad person. I'm not a mean person. I'm a very nice person, and I'm caring, and I'm loving, and I am faithful and honest, and just a wealth of knowledge to people that are around me. And that's why people that stay around me genuinely know that that's the type of person I am, but they know I will get in your ass real quick. I will let you have it and hold no bars back. Okay. So, but people who love me and know me know that that's just a small piece of me. That's not the majority of me. That's not the biggest part of me. The biggest part of me is my heart. And my heart is pure. My heart is in the right place. It always is when it's dealing with people that are around me. I do as much as I can for people, which I didn't know was also a symptom. I will, like the guy I was seeing not too long ago. When I met him, he was doing this, he was doing that. But by the time we decided to part ways or whatever, I had done so much for him as far as when it comes to his business. But and that was right out the gate. I see this and I see that. I see a problem, I fix it. And that's what I saw. And so that's why I guess I was in his life for that period, because everything I did was genuinely stuff that I did that I knew would help him be successful. And that was what was most important to me. It wasn't the fact that I spent a lot of time doing some of the stuff, and I didn't necessarily ever ask him for any money. We just spent time together or whatever, but it wasn't about me getting money. I can get money from anywhere, but it wasn't about me getting money. It was more so about the fact that the connection I had with him, because I was doing things for him and doing that satisfied me. That was what satisfied me, and I enjoyed it, because I'll dive into it real quick and just immerse myself in certain things, and I tend to give to the wrong people a lot, if you will. However, it satisfies me. So do I not do it because people may think I'm too easy, or how do you say it? Passive? I'm not sure. Do I give into that, or do I just do what makes me happy? And I decided a long time ago, matter of fact, this year, I decided if it doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But sometimes you gotta take some chances, and I take a lot of chances. We all know that, because that's one of the symptoms. I take a lot of risk. I do. But at the same time, I believe that if it's something that I just don't want to do, I'm just not gonna do it. But if it's something I've never done, well, I'm not quite sure if I want to do it or not. So I'm gonna try it. 9 times out of 10, I will try it. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that unless there's a possibility of it killing me. I'm probably gonna try it. Like bungee jumping, not gonna try that. Or jumping out of an airplane. If I was meant to jump out of an airplane, I would have damn wings. I don't have that. So, therefore, I'm not meant to jump out of a plane. That's what the plane is there for. Why would I jump out of a perfectly good plane? Doesn't even make sense. Never makes sense to me. So, just certain things are triggers for me, and certain things I have to realize, hey, I'm going to try it. If I don't like it, no more. If I like it, if it makes me happy, I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's going to get me in trouble. Probably with a lot of people. But at this point, I really just don't care, because, people are so fickle. And even though I have the mental conditions, other people act like they just as stupid as they want to be, or what you call it, thick in the head. I don't know. So for me, just knowing that I'm doing something, I'm trying to gain control, I'm trying to be a better person, or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to make less rational, more rational decisions than irrational decisions based on my needs or my disorder, and just try to help people to understand me. I've been doing that, and I really know that is important to me, for people to understand me. It's very important to me. So with that being said, I think this is the end of this vlog, and I'll be back on very shortly, so that I can give you some more insight on some of the things that I go through on a daily basis. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening, and hopefully I shared something with you that will be beneficial to you, as well as a friend or family member or something like that. Okay. And this is Rachel again with my vlog. And I thank you for listening, and I will see you soon.